I don't know. I think I've dealt with anxiety my whole life. Depression, I didn't experience that probably until an adult, but or I probably didn't realize that it was depression until I was an adult.
That too.
I think the first time was probably college. That so going in my senior year of college, I don't have a traditional life, which we won't get into on this episode. But I just remember being anxious about what was next. Like I felt like I had to make all of these decisions, whether it was right, what other people wanted me to do, and it just caused me to like kind of like act out. My senior year of high school was not my best year of high school. I had what we call senioritis, where I wasn't really.
That you did.
Yeah. That's the thing, for sure.
Where I wasn't really showing up for school.
Yeah. Sorry.
Just confirming what you're saying.
But there was a lot of things that go along with your senioritis because you have to have a balanced home life. And I don't think my home life was balanced at all. Yeah. And I think that the few things that I did go to school for my senior year, like basketball, it was kind of like stripped away from me. So I didn't feel a need to be there every day. So it gave me some anxiety on like what was next. And then, of course, we had to apply to college or a knowing course or get a job. And I was a little conflicted on what I wanted to do because I was tired of school. But my grandmother wanted one of the kids that she raised to have a degree. So I chose the college route. And I don't think that's what I wanted to do. I'm sure that's not what I wanted to do. But I did it. I did it gracefully. Yeah, because that's what she wanted. But I'm not going to say that my freshman year wasn't hard. It was an adjustment. It was something to get used to. Fortunately, I was home. I was in Atlanta, so that I can always call my friends that was still around, or old classmates, whatever. But I definitely have plenty of things to be anxious about.
Shout out to CAU. Find a way to make one.
Find a culture for service.
Man, I tell you, I think depression, I actually experienced it when I was in high school because I knew what it was. Like my junior year when I was in high school, the time before I was supposed to take final exams, we got into a bad car accident. Yeah, and I broke like my femur bone. That's that huge leg bone that goes from the bottom all the way up that allows you to bend. So when we got into that accident, we was like wrapped around a pole. So the fact that I was able to even make it was a blessing, but I couldn't see that at the time. All I knew was I wasn't able to take my final exams, and I was in a hospital and then a wheelchair for a minute. So going from being a child, not sick, not having no injuries, all the way up to a junior and not being able to get up and walk around like you usually do, or fix yourself something to eat, or get a glass of water, like that was like a huge eye opener, and that took some time to adjust to. So I was depressed, and the thing was, it happened around the holiday times.
Like being in high school in a wheelchair.
What?
Right.
No, wait a minute. Like I said, it happened around around the holidays, so I wasn't in school yet.
You're right. Okay.
Yeah, I had some time to get right, but just being around the house and either in the bed or the wheelchair, it just was not a good feeling. As far as anxiety goes, man, I had never really experienced it until one time I was actually driving back from my mom's in Charlotte, and I was on the highway, and then all of a sudden, my heart felt like it was like beating through my chest. Like I didn't know what was going on. I was like, damn, maybe I didn't get enough sleep. So I think I actually pulled over to like a rest stop because I was coming back from Charlotte. And I tried to go to sleep, but then I woke back up and tried to drive, and it was still there. It was so bad I wasn't able to do nothing to the rest of the day, and I ended up going to like the hospital. He was like, "Man, you're having whatever it's called, palpitations." Yeah, he gave me all the information, and I started to look into it. But that was the scariest thing ever because I had never had a panic attack or anything before. So yeah.
For me, well, I've experienced them both. I really didn't. I probably touched on it a little bit as a child and going through school and with college, but I say my biggest bout with depression was when my divorce, going through all of that. That was a pretty stressful time, and which it didn't make me really realize my feelings and be aware of what I was really going through until it was kind of like a slap in the face type thing. But I didn't necessarily. I was more so depressed on that. For my friends that knew me, they know the emotional impact that it made on me. But for the outside world, I was still smiling and going through every day like it was nothing.
I was there.
I was getting up, going to work every day, still smiling like everything was good. But it was affecting me as soon as I get home. Like once I clocked out and got back home, that's what, how it really was. And when I wasn't around the people that really knew what I was going through, it was, it was hard. But it was affecting me to where, I wasn't really eating. And so I lost a ton of weight. Like, and even though I like the weight loss, don't get me wrong, you always lose the best weight when you sick. Right, I'm just saying.
Now she ain't fine now?
Well, I understand where she's coming from. So we just gonna say that's where she's coming from.
Oh, okay.
Right now, thanks, Sean. I appreciate it. My nigga, goddamn. But I lost a ton of weight. Good one, yeah.
That was no shade to my friend.
But
because before you went through your depression, I went through my own.
Yeah, and I was there for yours. So yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but
and child, I'm not that big, but I was with her weight. They're like, friend, you need to eat.
But yeah, that weight loss is crazy. Like my mom was really like,
is you smoking that shit?
Yeah, my mom definitely thought I was on type of some extra stuff. And I'm like, Mama, yeah, I'm good. Like I'm fine. But she was like, nah. She was like, you was one pound away from me thinking you was hitting the hard stuff. I was like, oh no. But yeah, she definitely was. But yeah, that depression had kicked my butt. But once I finally got over that little spell, I did end up having for 2 times, I can say for sure, that anxiety definitely kicks my butt. I've had 2 of those where I'm like, ooh. And yeah, those heart calculations that you were talking about?
That's scary.
Something else, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think I definitely experienced heartbreak that made me feel, or that put me in a depressed state. And at the time, you don't necessarily realize it because if you're young, you still have to wake up and, well, not even if you're young, you still have to wake up and get what you got. Right.
You gotta keep going regardless.
No matter what's going on. But you might not eat. You might not sleep.
That appetite be out of here.
Yeah.
You're trying. You be like, I know I need to eat,
We
but
might
my body.
self-medicate.
That was for sure a thing.
Yeah.
Self-medication was for sure. And even with that, I watched a lot of TV shows. Like I didn't talk to a therapist with a lot of people, do. But I actually watched a lot of TV shows that helped me, help ground myself and determine some flaws that I needed to work on. What is this now? But yeah, I watched a lot of shows that helped me come to a lot of realizations and get my faults corrected that I knew I had along the way.
I live vicariously through Grace.
Meredith
the Gray.
I mean, she is a good
baby.
Kind of, yeah, she's a good
If
one.
I'm not having been a Meredith Grey type day,
It's all good.
it's great.
It's great.
It is great. I'll be like, let me turn on Grace. Grace and then, let me tell you something. When I'm experiencing anxiety, baby, I turn on me a little Grey's Anatomy.
Which she got me on.
Yeah,
She's the reason why I binge watched all. How many seasons is it? At the time, it was like
19, 20.
I swear, at the time you got me started, it was like 13 seasons already.
Yeah,
I'm definitely caught up thanks to her.
And my brother Terrence got me on it. So, but it's one of those shows that I watch and it's just like, I can exhale. And waiting to exhale, speaking of exhale.
Yeah, shout out to Shonda Rhimes and Grey's Anatomy because he got me a lot of ass in college, as a matter of fact. You sit there.
I did not watch it in college.
I didn't watch it in college. You didn't watch it in college? Well,
No.
Women I knew, they was on it heavy. This is 2011 to 2015. So I'm not sure the exact year, but it started.
It started in 2005.
2005, yeah, so they've been on. But they put me on to the show. You just sit there and watch.
I was
People like-
definitely going out of college at that point.
Oh, yeah.
I started watching Grey's Anatomy in 2013.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was still in at the time. They'd be like, yeah, we watch Grey's. And you see that, like, man, I could really feel her. And I get the cheeks. So, yeah, shout out to Kris.
Well, good job for you and Grey's in the cheeks.
Yeah. Shout out to them.
Moving along.
Next question.
Y'all feel like people can feel when they're depressed?
You mean can other people see
Can
it?
people?
I mean, like,
Because of course.
in yourself.
Mm.
Some people don't know they're depressed.
Well, that is true. You're right.
But, like, yes, like, internally and externally.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel like people know?
I think if you're really in tune with your feelings all the time,
Mm.
then yes, you do know. But for people who aren't so aware of how they, they're, yeah.
So, for me, right, for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
everybody thinks I'm this, like, cheaper person, outgoing, whatever. But there become days.
She's an emotional unstable creature.
It's true. It's true. And, like, nobody knows. I sit in my house, I call out of work, and I might call a few of my friends. Like, I might FaceTime Ashley for a second, or for, like, an hour or so. She's like, why you not at work? I'm just like, I'm not in the right headspace.
Mm.
Because it's not necessarily something happened. It's just that I didn't slow down. My life moved so fast. I didn't slow down enough to process what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I get in a state to where
Yeah.
I have to sit
Mm-hmm.
for a few days.
Yeah.
It costs me money too.
Mm.
But
That made me like, this job, I ain't going to live the best life for me.
yeah, I literally have to sit in what it is that I'm feeling. And then when I feel like I'm able to go back to work, when my mind is clear, and I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily understand that about me, and it low-key does bother me.
Sure.
Because everybody expects for you to be this strong person all the time, but I have feelings. I have things that needs to get resolved, talked about, whatever. And sometimes I have it sits in there and it festers, and I can't move for days.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily notice that it is a moment of depression,
Mm-hmm.
but I do know that it gives me anxiety.